sorry, I was not, okay, with my account. You see that somebody calls you, I have a problem with my account, I can't access the account. What do? You ask the person's name. When you get the person's name, you are trying to query some RESTful APIs. You are trying to query where that person's information is available. Now, but normally that particular customer, his or her information is available, in a particular server. You see that, maybe an application. And so, for example, this is the information that we have here. Or if you work for a company, let's say you want to call, a particular department, human resource, for example, maybe to tell them my pay for this month was not what I, okay, expected. You see that, first of all, they'll have to ask, so please, can you confirm your name? Yes, my name is, first and last name. Can you confirm your date of birth? So this is what happens in real time. You see that? So please take note. It's very important that for us to have this understanding. So, because in real time, the interview question, what you are going to see in the interview is that now I have been able to, configure, okay, monitoring dashboard using New Relic with over 50 RESTful APIs. Because in real time, we can have like, so many of these REST APIs. Okay. So please take note. Okay. Very important for us to have this, okay, understanding. Now, let us create, a dashboard using New Relic. So New, okay, Relic is one of the tools that is being used today by most companies to be able to do what? Okay, to ensure that their application is performing as expected. So this is the tool that we are going to use. So what is New Relic? New Relic, okay, is a continuous monitoring tool. That is the first thing you have to take note of. Now, it's a software as a service application. We are going to realize this stuff. We are going to have a better understanding with this as we progress. But all what we are trying to say here is that I don't need a server, okay, to run New Relic. It is a fully managed service. You see that? So I don't need to, like, remember that when we did Jenkins, what did we do? We have to install Jenkins on a server. The same thing with what? Marvin. Okay. The same thing with Tomcat. You see that? But with this particular tool, right, we don't need a server. With, okay, Nejos, we are going to need a server. So let us come here. I'm going to go to, okay, Google and search for that particular tool called New Relic. That's what I'm searching for. New Relic, this is it here. So it is just like an email. You see that where you can just go, okay, on Yahoo and create an email. Yahoo Mail, for example. So this is the service. It says collect all your telemetric, okay, data in one place to deliver full stack observability, manage complex systems, improve client-side experience, and build and run better software, real-time monitoring. You see that? So this is what we are told. In-depth troubleshooting. So please take note, this is the tool that we are going to be studying this morning. So let me click here on the tool website. So we have something like this. This is what we got in this with this tool. So what do I want to do? If you are new to this tool, all you have to do is to get in here and create an account. You see that? So we are going to look at this particular tool. Now, log into this website and create an account. That's all you have to do. The same way you can create an email account is the same way you can sign up for New Relic account. So take note about that. You just come here to sign up. You see that? It's going to ask you free, okay, access to this account. So all you will need to do is to, okay, you need your name and your email address. So please take note. It seems I already have an account here. Let me make sure I do. Do I have an account? I'm supposed to have an account here. Let me see. If I don't have an account, let me try to create one. I'm going to try to create an account. I'm going to call my name. That's my name, Simon Lega. Email, I use my landmark tech at gmail.com. I'm creating a new account. So I've been sent a mail. Okay, I need to confirm that mail. Let me check if I've received the mail already. This is the mail. It wants me to just verify my email. That's it, verified. So now I can enter my password. So which password do I want to use for this account? I'll just enter it. So it's a very simple tool to use. This is New Relic. Okay, so now we have created an account. I've created an account for myself, and you can do the same for yourself. You see that? So this is my New Relic account. We are going to see shortly what this account is going to enable us to do. New Relic. Now, I'm inside the New Relic account. You see that? I'm inside this account. What can I do with this account? You see this? What is it that I can do with this account? Let me come here. How can I configure application performance? Now, when you come to this account, you see it has a dashboard. It has what they call Entity Explorer. It has application performance monitoring. It has a browser. It has synthetic. It has mobile infrastructure, logs. It has alert. Now, this is all the things that New Relic is able to do for us. You see that with this particular tool, we can, okay, monitor our infrastructure. Which kind of infrastructure do we have, for example? You see that I click here, it's going to, it gives me different kind of infrastructure. Now, am my infrastructure hosted on AWS? I can use New Relic to monitor it. You see that this is New Relic. It's telling me, so this is AWS cloud. Do I have some EC2 servers running there? I can use New, okay, Relic for that purpose. Now, this logo is the Kubernetes logo. You see that? Do I have application running on the Kubernetes cluster? I can as well use this, okay, particular tool to monitor them. Now, do I have, applications on a Windows server? I can do the same. So whatever it is, okay, these are the different infrastructure New Relic is able to monitor. You see that? So please take note about that. So now it can equally monitor logs. You see that? But in real time, we are going to use, okay, other log management tool because log monitoring is not open source. You see that? So if we have to use that, we will need to pay, okay, a particular amount. So please take note about that. Most companies have this particular. So if you have New Relic on your resume, it's a very big deal. And that is why this is one of the tools that we are studying in this course. Now, how are we going to monitor today? We are going to use synthetic. You see that we are going to use synthetic to achieve, okay, monitoring. Let me try to get started and see where it takes me. Synthetic performance API. So it gives you some options here. Let me see something. This stuff is not taking me to back-end code and whatever we can be able to achieve. Let me come back here to New Relic Synthetic. Okay, now I am in synthetic. Did you see this? So I'll come here to synthetics. Okay, I want to create, a ping, okay, monitor. You see that this is going to be used to ensure that this application is up and running at all time. It's going to check this REST API. Okay, can we get these employees' details? So this is what we are trying to achieve. So now I come here. This is my account. Let me reduce the font a little bit. Now look at something. With this, right? When you go to this choice, synthetic, it gives you different options to use. It has a pink, okay, monitor. Choose your monitoring type, monitor that you want to create. Do you want to create a ping? Do you want to create a simple browser or scripted browser or API test? You see that now with the ping, let us start with the ping. We are going to call this ping something like uh, employees details. Employees details. That's what we want. So this particular, okay, monitor is going to search for our employees detail. You see that? So where can this detail be found? So I'll need to pass this REST API. You see this? This is the REST API. I click on it. I copy all this information there. I come, let me delete this browser so that I come here, I enter the information in this order. So it's going to be trying to ensure that this employee detail found on this URL is highly available. You see that now I can add a validator. Maybe the validator can be the name of one of my employees. Who is that employee? Now, when we came to this, our JSON file, we had an employee called My Landmark Tech. This is the employee's name. You see that? So I am going to come back here, okay, add a validation string to look for in the response. This is optional. So I can add this string like that. My landmark details. Did you see that? So this is the string that I'm trying to add. Now it has advanced option. Add advanced option. You see that now verify SSL. It's like, for example, if I want to ensure that only people with secure connection to access this RESTful API, I'm going to choose this. You see that, if your connection is not secure, there is no way you can be able to, okay, run this particular, be able to do what? Okay, run this particular, okay, monitoring tool. So now, the question now is select monitoring locations. Where are my customers located? Do I have customers in Africa? Do I have some in North America, for example? Maybe I have some in the DC. Okay, so I'll choose DC, Europe. I'm going to choose London. Okay, so this is where my application is being, okay, used. Here I come to Tokyo, Japan. Australia, I come here to Sydney. You see that now I have choose my location. So this application is going to be, okay, used from each of these location. But now, what am I trying to check in this particular monitoring tool? I want to find out if I have a customer in Africa, how much time does it take for him to access this application? If I have them in the US, how much time will it take? So that I can be able to take what? Okay, you know, corrective, you know what I'm saying? Okay, measures to make sure that my latency is reduced to its barest minimum. That's what we are trying to achieve here. So I come, how now I want this information to be sent to me every minute. You see that? So I'm trying to create a simple ping monitor. Every minute, okay, it is going to trigger an alert and inform me in real time if my application is performing or not. So I create that monitor is being created. You see that monitor is being created. So we have something like this. You see that? So now it is trying to load. Okay, we have Cape Town, Washington. You see that? Cape Town, Washington. Let's see how much time we are going to take or is going to take for, a user In the US, we already have Washington. Okay, it took 9 milliseconds. You see that? That is the time that it took, 9 milliseconds. Let's wait for the other regions, okay, to try to, let's see how much time is we're going to take for them. So we have configured different regions. So this is our application performance monitoring. Every minute, okay, it's going to load this dashboard for us. Do you see that? Now we have all these regions in different colors. Washington, D.C. is there. Tokyo, Japan is there. Sydney, Australia is there. Now we have the different latency here. How much time did it take for users in each of these locations to be able to access our application? Because high availability, okay, also needs speed. You see that because if your application is available and it takes a very long time for someone to be able to reach it, it means that your latency is very high. Your network latency is very high. How do you improve on that? So let's come back here. Now, but the first thing, what do we realize? What do we realize here? We see that London took 157 milliseconds. Now, US took what? You see that? So this is Sydney took, okay, Japan took 350, okay, 345 milliseconds. You see that? Washington, D.C. took 16 milliseconds. You see that? Now, we come here, Cape Town took 435. You see that? So every minute is going to tell us, okay, how much time it takes for users, in each of these geolocation to be able to access our application. Now, this is application performance monitoring. This is what we are talking about. Now that we have realized that it is taking more time for customers, in Tokyo, for example, to access this application, how can we resolve this issue? Now, look at something, please. Where is this our server located? This our application server. Where is it located? Where is the server located? Which region? Look at it there. Can you see the region? It is located in North Virginia. The distance from North Virginia to Washington, D.C. is about 40 minutes drive. You see that? So that is why, now users trying to access this application there, okay, it takes them a very short time. But what do we realize here in real time? We also realize that everything is working okay. So far, there are no failures. You see this, no failures for this time window. All the application, so our users can be able to do what? Access this application wherever they are. Now, look at something. Let me just illustrate something in this diagram. This is a diagram. Now, we have now, how can we be able to improve, for example? How can we improve, okay, to make sure that users in Africa, in Sydney, in Japan, okay, achieve the same latency that users in the US are achieving? You see that we have so many concepts that we can be able to achieve that way. But for now, I will just limit the analysis to what we have covered in class. Now, look at something. As we progress, we are going to see other services that we can use. But now what I can do is that I can create other Tomcat servers. You see that? So we can create other Tomcat servers. You see that? So we are going to have something like this where when end users are trying to access this application, you see this now, these are end users. End users, there are so many of them from Africa, from Japan, from China, wherever they are trying to access this application. End users, when they try to hit on this application, now we are going to route their traffic with a load balancer, elastic load balancer, for example. That's what we are going to use this load balancer or a web server. It could be Apache web server, whatever it is. So this load, okay, balancer is going to distribute this traffic based on, where you are trying to connect from. You see that maybe we are going to have, if you are trying to connect, let's say from the USA, we are going to allow you to, your traffic is going to be what? Routed, okay, to our EC2 North Virginia. You put something like this, EC2, okay, North Virginia region, something like that. You is running in US East 1. So we have something like that. So now we have EC2 Cape Town, something like that. Cape Town, Africa. You see that? Now we can have EC2. So look at something, please. This EC2, these are Tomcat saver. Okay, in this class, we are going to see how we can be able to do this installation serverless. That's one thing I'm going to be doing in this class once I'm done with this guy. So here we have Tomcat server. These Tomcat server are, okay, running where in EC2 instances, Linux servers. You see that these are Tomcat servers. So now we have Tomcat server in Cape Town. Okay, maybe this one is somewhere in London. You see that? London. So now what this load balancer will do is that if a customer is trying to, okay, access this REST API from, okay, Africa, your traffic is going to be what? Routed from this, is going to be transferred to this Tomcat server running in our Cape Town region. If you are in Europe, for example, your traffic is going to be routed, to our Tomcat server running in the London region. What are we trying to achieve? We are trying to achieve low latency, low network what? Latency in all the regions. Now, as we progress with this course, you will realize that we can configure what we call CloudFront with edge, okay, location, elastic cache, which can reduce latency for subsequent requests as well. So we are going to be able to see that, but take note that for now, we can be able to resolve this problem, by running the same application in distributed servers. And the good thing is that we have AWS. This becomes the power of the cloud. AWS already have regions like we have Cape Town, okay, Africa, you see that. Hong Kong, we have Tokyo. You see that. Canada Central, you see. So now in Europe, we have London. You see this. So look at something. So just imagine that you were, you work for a small company and you have customers distributed across the globe. What will you do? Will you now go to UK to launch a new, data center? You go to Africa and do all of that? That will not be necessary today. Why? Because, we can take advantage of cloud resources. But now, what other problem can we encounter with this application? Let me come back. Let me come here, okay, to settings, right? Let me come back here to settings. Now, we had put here that we want to have my landmark tech. Let me change this name from line, okay, to something like, let me just put Simon. Okay, this is the name that okay, let me just put Lega. Now look at something. I am including a validator that does not exist. You see that this is going to help you now save changes. I'm trying to include a validator that does not exist. You see that? So it is going to be searching for, because if you come here, what do you realize? We don't have Simon here. You see that? So I'm saying when you are, because when you try to, okay, query this RESTful API, check for the name Simon in our employee list. You see that? So let us find out, what do we get here? It's going to throw us, okay, errors very soon. Why? Because, the information we are trying, look at something, failure. Sydney is having a failure. Response validator error. Response did not contain the expected string lega. So if you have this kind of a problem, maybe a junior administrator is trying to communicate with you, we are having issues. Okay, our new Relic dashboard is showing what? Error. What do? You tell them, please, can you screenshot the issue and share with us so that we can be able to resolve it as fast as we can. Now, this is a problem. This, okay, error is because it can't validate lega. That is the error. Now, what happened? There could be more. Okay, let me come back here. Let's assume that this particular saver, okay, this saver is not running. Which kind of error are we going to have? Let me first of all come back to this settings, general. I'll come here to general settings, and I'm going to remove lega from here. Let me just remove lega from there. Now I come back here. Look at what we are going to do. We are going to stop this saver. I'm taking this saver to a stop state. Did you see this? This saver is stopped. If this saver is stopped, let's find out how, because in real time, right, you won't be coming here to search if this saver is up or not. You won't come to this web browser. Okay, what are you trying to do? Because what we are doing here, this dashboard is telling us what customers are experiencing in real time. It gives us customers experience. Now, so much so that we can be able to react before a bad situation escalate. You see that? So now let us reload this page and see the error that we are going to get. I expect a 400, what are we to? Network. You see that? Connection timeout. It is trying to connect, it can't connect. You see this? It is trying to connect, it can't connect. Now, this is supposed to be which kind of, let me just click on this. Let's see what we get. I click here. You see that? It can't find anything. This is the kind of error that we can be able to get in real time monitoring. So, let's see what happens from here. You see that network error, connection timeout. It's trying to access this application. It can't. It's having what? Connection timeout. You see that? The same thing here. Okay, we are timeout. We can't access the application. You see that? So please take note. Why? Because this particular RESTful API is not available. You see that? It is not. So what do we do? Let me try to restart this server. So this is just some stuff that I wanted us to have a good understanding on when it comes to new Relic. So we have been able to use the pink monitor, create a monitoring dashboard, and from there we can, we have been able to view in real time how our application is performing, and equally see what else did we see. We can be able to visualize, visualize customer experience. You see that? What, customer experience, something like that. You see that? So we can visualize whatever is happening on our client side. We can be able to know before they start complaining. Your application, we can't access the application and stuff. So please take note. This is how, what we need to understand here. So in real time, you could be asked stuff like, you could say stuff like, you have been able to create, okay, monitoring dashboard using new Relic, okay, for RESTful APIs. Very important. So now I have already explained to us other options that we have here, but let me just explain one more stuff here. Look at something, please. This is synthetic. If we come here, we have created one dashboard. That is the dashboard that we have created. Get employees details. You see that now we can be able to create monitor. You see that I can create as many RESTful API here as I want. I can come here, okay, and create maybe get customer, okay, details, whatever it is. But there is something I want us to know. Here we have the pink, okay, monitor. We equally have what we call the API test. Now, with this API test, right, this is used for secure RESTful APIs. APIs in which you will need to validate with a username and password. That is what we call secure RESTful APIs. You see that? So please take note about that. It's very important. Like I remember when you guys when someone called me for Landmark, I'm like, how can I enroll in Landmark? What do I do? I need to share with the person this RESTful API where the person will use to do what? To enroll into Landmark, something like that. So I can create a, okay, monitor as well to ensure that this API is always available. You see that? So please take note. And if you were to, okay, sign in with, okay, username and password, that becomes a secure RESTful API. And in that case, we are going to do what we call an API test. We equally have what we call simple browser. The same thing. You see that simple, okay, browser. All you can do here is that you can, be able to create a, okay, monitor for this entire application. So please take note about that. It's very important. And there is one more thing that they call scripted, okay, browser. With this, right, we are going to write some script like, Selenium script to be able to achieve this particular task. So this is one thing that I wanted us to have an understanding on when it comes to new Relic. So we have seen what this tool is going to be able to achieve in real time. So any question? Any question? Let me come to my instance state. Did I stop this instance? I thought I did. Let me see. Okay, instance is in stop state. Let me start the instance. Okay, now I'm going to be illustrating something with us very important. So my instance have, okay, started. Let's see something here. My instance have started. Can we be able to access Tomcat now? Can we do that? Let me copy this. Let me copy this information and come here. Look at something. What do we get here? This is our new public, okay, IP address. You see that? So if we want to access Tomcat, this is the new IP that we can use to be able to access our Tomcat server. So if I come here and click, let's see if 77, I've changed the port to 7777. We can't access Tomcat. So what do we do there? Mobile extend.
You have to restart it.
We have to restart Tomcat. So that's what we are going to do. Let's restart Tomcat. Once we restart Tomcat, we'll be able to access Tomcat server. Let me go to mobile extend. Okay. So we have, I'm trying to restart my Tomcat server. So I'm going to just come here to the session I'll add a new session. Okay, that's the IP address. Username is EC2. That's the default user. I'm going to get to my private key, 22a.pem. Let me check the location. 22a.pem. That's my private key. Okay, I want to access the Tomcat server. Sudo -I. I want to start Tomcat. Start Tomcat. I think I've done something like this before. This shortcut. So Tomcat server have started. You see that? My Tomcat server have started, so I can be able to do what? Access this server now. So this is my Tomcat server. You see that? So with this information, I can be able to access my Tomcat server. So let me come back here. Accessing Tomcat server. So I have this IP address. It has changed. It has changed. So that's a new IP address. So with this new IP address, I can access this service. My app, copy. Let me access this server. So we have been able to do what? Access this server. So I'll need to come back here and, change this information. But now there is something I want us to look at. This is one thing that I wanted us to know when it comes to new Relic monitoring tool.